Hi, I'm Lauri Levenfeld.
And I'm Grace Wethor.
We are the co-directors and co-writers of Mad World.
Mad World is a film that follows a woman named Nicole through 5 different worlds full of fantasy, crazy characters, life lessons, and she picks up a little bit of learning in each world and comes back as a new version of herself.
Our inspiration was really a combination of just our pure work in fashion and fantasy and our desire to reconstruct and deconstruct fairy tales in a much more modernized way, while also really, kind of honing in on the world that we're living in today, which is during quarantine and COVID, and, providing inspiration and a vehicle for other people to see and to just be able to propel them forward in terms of how they create and how they get through their daily challenges in life.
I think fairy tales have been influential in our work just because of the pure creativity of them. We're both very creative people. We love colors and patterns, and we love, Wes Anderson and Tim Burton, and to see all of these worlds and not limit your brain to reality. I think this was really our first time going to the extreme with that, with visual effects and different worlds and countries and eras, and to just not feel limited by anything. You can dream along your wildest imagination and it can just be real.
Yeah, I think both of us are dreamers, and so fairy tales are a vehicle to be limitless and to really just persevere in the most imaginative, most expansive way possible. And we hit the ground running with everything we created.
No one questions anything in fairy tales, and I think that's what makes it really magical. They're like, oh, that thing's flying?
That's
sure,
right. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's bring a little magic into the world. I think the transition was amazing. See, in Mad World, we're very, very in tune and just visually stimulated, and our just approach to everything has to be stylistic. Creating 5 different Mad Worlds really gave us the opportunity to kind of take our fashion experiences and our fashion loves and put them all into different eras and characters and lands and just create something super individual and unique. And I think that fashion, because we were in it for a long time and we've been doing campaigns for so long, we have an incredible group of just experts that we could hone in and bring along on the project, stylists and cinematographers that we've been working with for years that really understood our our voice, our message, and the way that we like to tell our stories. So it was kind of the transition that was smooth. The other part in terms of actually filming in COVID, that was a whole other thing.
Yeah, but I definitely think it was really interesting because we do pay such close attention to detail from a style standpoint. It really helped us create different worlds.
Yes.
And I think most films kind of just develop a style and a look because you're filming with the same cameras or in the same house or on the same location. But, we were filming in 4 different worlds in a set number of days. So we really had to be picky about the wardrobe and the air and the lighting and just every little thing. And I think fashion really helped us get there and build these worlds for sure.
I think the writing process was pretty magical. We definitely think so alike. And so we were able to really, once we kind of sat down, really vibe on, so many of the same references and the style points that we love, and, like we said, people that we've been influenced and passionate about in the film industry. And so, we kind of just rolled with it. I don't even know. We finished each other's sentences. It's just kind of that thing. But, we sat down for 6 hours, and I think the whole mantra of all things are possible allowed us to have the freedom to just really explore, and we did. And we just kind of always are accepting of each other and accepting of kind of the ideas that come out, because no idea is bad until it is. It's not. It's just sometimes it has to be reshaped a little bit, but for the most part,
we were very lucky.
we didn't ever have
we didn't really ever rework any world from scratch. We are very lucky to have everything kind of work out exactly how we wanted it.
Yeah, and that is the one. There's many complications in COVID, but there's also many joys, and I think it's just, you know, the ability to just kind of go with it and, you know, not have a lot of time on your hands made it easy for us to just kind of put it on paper and then, you know, make it happen versus always kind of questioning yourself.
Yes, and we also worked with a really interesting approach. We did a cast first and then write approach, which is very different than traditional Hollywood. But I think it worked really magically because there were people we wanted to work with, and because it was quarantine, we were able to get these very successful actresses on set with us. And
absolutely. And they felt great. I mean, because they felt like, you know, their role was very authentic to themselves, and they felt very valued in the story and the script, and there was just a tremendous amount of collaboration that, you know, we wouldn't have had necessarily if we were on a very, you know, strict budget and timeline. And I don't know, we just rolled with it.
We just went with it. I feel like everyone got to play like the wildest version of themselves.
Absolutely.
And Wilmar was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do something. And Tiffany's like, rawr, and we're like, it's great.
Well, that's the thing about fairy tales and fantasies is that, you know, there's no limitations with age or, you know, kind of these parameters that people set up. I mean, this is a modernized, this is definitely a modernized fairy tale because in some, you know, obviously as we've seen, fairy tales have really expanded themselves, and, you know, we now live where all things are possible, all people are possible, all opportunities come to those people. So yeah, it was a great experience. I think the biggest challenge was definitely the parameters and just the, you know, specifications that were set because we were on a set during quarantine. We had to be very, very careful with our cast and crew and just make sure that everyone was safe through this COVID experience. And, you know, we did go kind of far and beyond because we decided on 4 different locations.
And 4 different casts.
And so that right there, which we didn't know, was kind of a red flag to SAG, just because, you know, we did have to be really careful of the fact that, you know, with each new cast, the crew that had been kind of coming along, everyone had to be retested, and, you know, there was zoning systems in place, just a lot of like pivots and turns that we just, you know, we got through. It was challenging, but, you know, it just made it a safe environment, and it really gave people the freedom to be, you know, comfortable, and then their creativity could really aspire.
Because I can't imagine what it would have been like if people were very uncomfortable with the situation. So I'm glad everything was taken care of before, and I feel like once everyone got there, we were like, shut off from the rest of the world. Like, we were just free to be creative and create something at that point. Our biggest takeaway from Mad World is our mantra that we use from Nicole. It's all things are possible. And I think we really did have to take that into consideration on a lot of different like levels throughout the process. But I really love that mantra because I think it works within the film and within the script and within the story, but it also works within the process of actually creating the film.
Yeah, and I think as filmmakers, you just always have to have a no fear approach because you're constantly dealing with challenges, and you're constantly dealing with kind of external items that are not a part of kind of what you want the process to be, that you just have to twist and turn with, and that is a part of, you know, filming. And then, you know, obviously we didn't name this like film for nothing. It's like, this is a mad world we're living in right now, and it is a crazy environment, but if you can hold strong to your creativity and artistry, I think you can go, you know, you can get pushed through anything, and that's what we really believe in, and that is our fairy tale to tell. And we want everyone to walk away from this movie and be very inspired and really able to, you know, continue doing whatever they're doing, or to, you know, jump ahead and start something new.
I'm Grace Wethor.
I'm Lauri Levenfeld.
And this is Mad World.